Hi everyone. So I went for my walk today. I went up to the pool later. I should have gone up earlier, but I spent the day applying for a lot of jobs. And by the time I looked up, it was already like almost 4. So I decided go for a walk, get some fresh air and come back and then go and use the pool to swim. But I have been trying to go up to swim earlier. It's just that when the weather is very hot like that, sometimes it's not good to go swimming at that time. So I waited a bit. But let's see, hopefully this hurricane will not affect our area badly. And we're supposed to get rain. Hopefully it won't affect us the way it's affected some parts. The weather's changing all over the world. And I guess we just have to take it as it comes and put our faith in God. I was reading this today, Stormy Omens, the power of praying, and it's this author is one that I heard about when I went home on my trip to Zimbabwe. I went into a bookstore and I was talking to the people serving there. There's many graduates in Zimbabwe who are doing the same kind of work that I do, low paid work, menial work. So my friends were telling me, why don't you come back? Like, you can come and stay here instead of staying in Canada. I said to them, things are so bad in Zim. I don't think I could cope with the constant power cuts and with the shortages. And they're like, no, you can get everything now, Belinda. You'll get a good job. You should come back. So I said to them, you know what, let me go back and see how it goes, because if I come back, I want to have a job first. I don't want to just come back and be stranded, because people have their own lives, their own responsibilities. And when we surrender our lives to God, I believe that God will open the right opportunities. He'll show you where He wants you to go and where He wants you to stay. So there's a passage here that I had read in this book about saying yes to God and knowing that God is Lord over our lives, no matter what our circumstances are. God doesn't want just part of you, He wants all of you. And I pray that God will have that control over every area of my life, regardless of my circumstances. Isaiah 40:31 says that those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. So it's a very powerful scripture. I think when the way we grew up is very different to the way things are now. When we grew up, our homes were always open to people. And we didn't have to call people and ask them, like, is it okay to come over? We would just go and just enjoy ourselves, enjoy the company. And all of us were in the same boat. We were not wealthy people, but we would just phone and say, hey, we're coming over. Things have changed, especially like here in North America. People don't do that. Like even especially with family. You normally you have to message them and say, oh, are you at home? Can I call you now? We never did that before. And with my friends, we just call each other. And if we're home, we're home. If we're at church or whatever, we just silence the phones. But it's different now. I think I was very fortunate when I went home. Everybody welcomed me. It wasn't an issue because we were like that for everyone. We were always available. Our homes were always open. When everybody got together, we didn't leave one person out. We made sure everybody was accommodated. And my dad was disabled, so it's not like his health was perfect. But we still included everyone. Everybody got along. Nobody was left out. Nobody was isolated. Nobody was told, oh, when the whole family is going to be together, then you do your own thing. But that's the way life has become. That's how I've been treated in Canada. So I just say, okay, if that's how you want it, that's how you want it. And if people tell me they don't want me in their lives anymore, I'm like, okay, If you don't want me, you don't want me. I'm not going to keep fighting for you. You can fight only so much, and you can invite only so much. And then if years and years and years go by and the same thing keeps happening, you're only hurting yourself. So you have to just accept that and move into new circles and new friendships and new opportunities. Sometimes people just stop communicating. You just don't hear from them again. So I try to reach out a few times. I try to make calls or emails. I'll send messages through LinkedIn or through WhatsApp or, my phone. And then if they don't communicate, then I leave it. But I know that God is in control. And I think for us as women, it's important to remember that. Because with the natural disasters and everything that's happening today, Jamaica got such a slaughtering with this hurricane. We don't know. Our lives could be taken any time by the Lord. Anytime, any place, our lives could be taken. From moment to moment, we don't know what's going to happen. So I cherish those good memories. I cherish the friendships I have. And even my friends all over the world, in Holland, in UK, in New Zealand, in England, they will say, Belinda, if you need to come and you want to come. Just tell us, let us know, and you can come. And I'm the same way with them. And they know that I'm sick. They know that I'm not completely healthy anymore. But if they can rent a place nearby or get an apartment nearby, we could always meet up. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the friendships. I'm grateful for the people that I have in my life who love me. And here in Canada, the distances are vast. So it's hard traveling as well, because it would take at least 3 hours to get to some places, 4 hours to get to some places. So it's different here. We do have to make plans and meet up, and people like me, you don't know what shift you're going to be working, you don't know what schedule you're going to have. So it's very hard here. But I count my blessings, and I was just thinking about that, how lucky we were to grow up in Zimbabwe and to grow up in communities where we would all be together. Everybody would get together, everybody was welcomed, and whatever little we had, we shared it. Whether they call it a potluck here, but we would all make something and bring it and share it. And it didn't matter if you were rich or if you were poor. We all loved each other. And you don't get that in Canada. And if you're rich, you have a circle of friends that you move with. They have their Ducatis and their cars and their, posh holidays. And then you have people like me who are struggling to get by, struggling to get work. And we're highly qualified. We have all the skills, we have all the education, but we can't get anything. So it's a very different lifestyle here. People can open doors for you, and people can close doors for you. Because if you look at the companies, they're all interconnected. If you look at Gavi, you look at UNICEF, you look at War Child, and you look at all these organizations, they're all supporting each other. So really, if somebody wanted to help you, they could help you to move into one of those companies. Because if your work is good and your reputation is good and you're doing a good job, you'll get the opportunities. But if you go through what I went through, when your reputation is spoilt by bankers and people, you in an executive assistant role, and they're saying, oh, they wanted to be your friend. When you're an executive assistant and there's power differentials and there's wage differentials, people don't like that kind of impression being created. And I was very upset about it. And I did sue Credit Suisse, but because their headquarters was in New York, they couldn't settle it. So they still keep trying. Everywhere I go, I don't know what's wrong with them. Everywhere I go, even at Teleperformance, they coordinated with the police and they put calls through. So I don't know why they don't leave me alone. Now I'm disabled because of what they did to me. And at what point does it stop? Will Christine stop when I'm dead and buried? and I can't get up from the ground again. I mean, at what point does it stop? I also have to protect myself and my family, and I made that very clear to them. She made it clear to me, and I made it clear to her. We've got the same connections. I've got the same connections as their lawyers. I've got connections with the MPs, with Justin Trudeau. I've got connections with tennis players like Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic and lots of other people. With the International Tennis Federation, I've got the same connections. So if she's not backing down, I'm not backing down. Because at the end of the day, my life got destroyed, not hers. She's still a lawyer, she's still practicing, they still got their firm downtown, and I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to be tracked and followed by the police and everybody else and people to say, oh, they were worried about me. Worried about me for what? I'm quite capable of living on my own and holding a job and working at the board level and doing everything that I do. And my friends know it. And people are disgusted with them. Because if somebody wants to be your friend, they'll say yes. If somebody says no, then leave it. Don't interfere in their life. The same way I was told by my mother, don't interfere in Stuart and Anita's life, I left it. She was screaming at me. I said, she's my sister. She said, yeah, I know she's your sister, so I left it. Because I don't want to be taken to the police station again. Because I don't do anything, and the way they react to me, it's like they're reacting to some criminal that walked in off the street. I don't do anything to them. Even to my mother, I don't do anything to her. But the way she reacts to me, I'd rather stay away. I'd rather stay away and just have peace and quiet. It's better that way. And then when there's peace, it's better. You can organize something, you can organize a lunch or something, and people can visit and go home. Because I don't need any more drama in my life. I've been through enough. And the days you can see when I'm stressed, my one eye gets small. Or you can see I have an upset tummy, or I can't control my bowel movements. And part of it is spiritual. The church told me you're not infested. You're not satanically possessed. But you are getting attacked from the outside, and part of it is to do with the family and what's happening with the family environment. So I just stay away. I try to live a good life. I try to be at peace with everybody. And I've gotten on with my life for a long time. When people tell me, get on with your life, I'm like, exactly what do you mean? I mean, it's ridiculous. I've supported my mother through everything. Even when she got married, I had classes that day. I went to her wedding. I took the bus and I went. I had asked her, can I come and stay there the night? And she's like, no, I don't think you should come and stay here. So I left it. Was I hurt? Yes, I was very hurt. Because every time the family gets together, they leave me out. Everybody else is more important. But there's nothing you can do. You have to put it in God's hands and pray that God gives you your own family and somebody who will be there just for you, not somebody who wants a sidekick or wants to have an affair or wants to have somebody on the side, somebody who will be there for you. And you move on, you build your life, you build your skills, you build your talents, and hopefully, eventually, these people will get sick of it and they'll leave me alone. Because I'm not interested in Credit Suisse personal lives. I'm not interested in who wanted to be friends with me, and I'm not interested in people calling and screaming at me on the phones. I got affected by that customer service work. That's what affected my mental health, being shouted at and screamed at and yelled at. And people have tried, even Ed Quill at TD, he tried to get me back into TD, into an executive assistant role. He tried to get me better loans, better deals. He tried to get my line of credit extended. They won't do it. So it's not easy for me. People think, oh, it's easy. Look what she's accomplished. How did she? You put your faith in God. Every step I've taken in this country, I've been blocked at every level. In England, everything went smoothly for me. That's why I want to go back there. Because I'm tired of it also.